start with Tony. Okay? Oh, please silence yourself up.
All right, hello. So as we come on our last week of finals here, it's kind of important to look back on everything you've done, just see what you've developed through these times here. So I'm Antonio Capone. I am a communications major with a focus on digital media, and I have an art history minor. And some of the skills that I think that I have really developed over my time here have been my creativity, my time management and organizational skills, and my verbal communication skills have really developed over this time as well. So starting off with creativity, I do a lot of different things that I would consider creative. I'm a photographer. I play several instruments. And one of the classes that I took here, actually a couple that I took here, really helped me expand on that. I took a acting for the stage class, which I think really helped me get up and be able to do presentations in front of people and just kind of get myself more comfortable with talking in front of a large audience. As well as my photography, I've used it really recently. I'm trying to become a photographer for an auction house in Chicago. So I think that, my skills here that I've developed through my time here, I was a student photographer here, they've just been really beneficial for me. And I also took a class called media design, and there should be an image of a king frog, which was a website that I built and a brand that I developed where I created different mock-ups for shirts and vehicle wraps and all sorts of different kinds of things for a commercial website. And the next skill that I think I developed well was organization and time management. Right now I work at an auction house in Cleveland called Gray's Auctioneers, and here one of my main duties is to bring in every object that we get from our consigners and label it, organize it into shelving and everything, and be able to find it whenever it's purchased and ready to be picked up. I feel like I've developed just a knowledge of how to organize these things and just how to remember where everything is so I can go back really quickly. Another thing that I think I've done well is with Lightroom and my photography. My website that I built, I think really shows that I'm able to organize all the best photos that I've taken over the past couple years and organize it into a user-friendly site for anyone who would like to further explore my work or even hire me for any jobs. And also acapella. I was part of the all-male acapella group here at John Carroll. I was a music director, so finding all the music that we performed and arranging it and sending it out to everyone really included a lot of time management just to be able to get those out in a timely manner so that we could practice and get them ready for our concert at the end of the year. The final skill that I think that I developed really well was my verbal communication. I had lots of presentations over my course here. Last semester I was in a course called Bullshit, Detecting Bullshit, and I did a presentation on non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and we had to do a TED Talk, which I recorded and posted to YouTube myself and everything. Another thing is performances. Like I said, I was in the a cappella group. Just being able to manage a performance and manage a stage, I think is really important as well. And then finally, I also had photography in there. I think just my ability to talk with my models and talk with the people that I'm working with just to get the best photo, I think is really important. So, thank you.
Okay, Hi everyone, my name is Gianna De Camilo and I'm currently a senior here at John Carroll, majoring in integrated marketing communication with a minor in Italian. Over the last 4 years at John Carroll, I've been able to learn valuable skills in and out of the classroom. These have included experiences from my coursework, off-campus clubs, and work experiences. As I've been reflecting over the past 4 years at John Carroll, there have been 3 skills and abilities that I believe are the most important to me as I move into the real world and start my career. These 3 skills are written and verbal communication, creativity, and organizational skills. These are skills that I believe I have grown in most during my college years and have helped me get to where I am today and helped me mold my character. So first, written and verbal communication is one of the most important skills to me. In regards to school, one of the first courses I had to take at John Carroll was COM 125, which made me speak in front of people that I did not know, which helped me improve my public speaking skills. The writing portion of all of those classes have allowed me to strengthen this skill. Doing this helped me feel more confident and comfortable when speaking to a larger group of people. Aside from in the classroom, I was the marketing director for the Bowler Business Leadership Society. I would call on working professionals to come in and speak to students for about 1 hour about their career and how they got to where they are. Through that, I had to send follow-up emails and thank you cards to these individuals that came in to speak to students and thank them for their time and insight. And then every week for my internship, I had to call on new opportunity, key, and existing accounts, asking them how I can help their business grow or what paint needs they will have coming up. My verbal communication skills were very important when doing this because I did not have to say the same thing to every customer. I had to tailor it to the work that they do. I then had to log the call and go into detail about what was said. Having strong written and verbal communication skills will allow me to be successful in the workforce. Secondly, I think that creativity is a skill that I have developed over the last 4 years that has stood out to me. Through creative writing classes, web design, and helping customers choose color has required me to use creativity to the best of my ability. There have been many classes that I have taken within the communication department, such as English literature, Italian literature, poetry, and along with entrepreneurship classes that have really pushed me to think outside of the box and in unique ways. My writing classes have challenged me to think more creatively. For example, in poetry class, we were given a prompt and 20 minutes later we had to present the poem to the class. This definitely made me think on the spot and use my creativity. It's one thing to be able to sit in front of a computer screen and put together a marketing campaign, but it is another to have conversations and engage with people engage in learning about what a company wants out of the marketing campaign and to be able to write what the company wants and deliver on that. This all comes from a creative mindset. Learning to improve and expand my creativity in my classes at John Carroll has allowed me to apply it in real-world situations like in my internship at Sherwin-Williams. We are always having brainstorming sessions on how to improve marketing and foot traffic in the store, and I believe developing my creativity was monumental in my ability to contribute to these discussions. And lastly, web design. It has allowed me to be creative on social media. Through the leadership club that I was a part of, I had to create Instagram accounts every week and flyers that were distributed throughout the school to inform students about future events. I had to be creative and come up with something eye-catching and appealing. Lastly, organizational skills I feel are beneficial not only as I start my career, but these are important skills to have in everyday life. In terms of school, I had to balance taking 18 credit hours while working 2 part-time jobs, one of which was my internship. This has made me become more responsible and ready to face any challenges that I may have in my career. Staying organized has taught me how to prioritize activities, set and achieve goals, and reduce stress when things seem to get overwhelming. As far as work, I have had my internship with Sherwin-Williams for over 1 year, and in that time, organizational skills have allowed me to succeed. While I was running the store by myself, I had to be able to answer phones, recommend different products to customers, and complete work orders all in the same time. My role required me to be very organized when making paint orders and making sure that they were done on time and properly. It is important to stay organized when deadlines need to be met and people are relying on you for their job. My experience at Sherwin-Williams has shown me that in the professional world, being organized is an important aspect of being prepared. Doing things such as having a planner with a checklist of what needs to be done, using Google Calendar, and creating files on my laptop have helped me keep my work in order and categorized. Lastly, going forward in the future, I know that I have a strong foundation of what it takes to be successful in the real world. I plan on continuing to grow and develop the skills I have moving into a full-time position in a marketing sales role. John Carroll has given me the tools I need to succeed, and I am excited to see how I can use them to flourish in the future. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Davis Crawford, and I'm a current senior at John Carroll University, studying under the Tim Mercer Department of Communications with a concentration in integrated marketing. Over my 4 years at John Carroll, I was reflecting what skills and abilities that first came to mind. The first skills and abilities that came to my mind are organization and leadership skills, critical thinking and creativity, and verbal communication. Moving forward with my life and my future internship possibilities, this summer I have actually set up and acquired an internship with the Akron Soapbox Dairy. I have also, on a side, acquired a social media management job with the Lisa Calagrassi Foundation. I believe that these skills and ability that I have learned and gained through John Carroll University will best prepare me for my future, any challenges I face, and I can feel that I can overcome in a professional setting. First, for organization and leadership, I have had a meaningful experiences and involvement both on campus and off campus for me to grow in my organization and leadership skills. So firstly, I believe that John Carroll University, being a part of the sailing team and also a treasurer at the same time, I had to manage my classwork with my school activities. And I've had a lot of campus involvement to help me through. As being a treasurer of the John Carroll sailing team, I had to manage and allocate funds for the school, for the club, and also manage how we would get to practice, how would we go on regattas as such, and transportation. So managing my classes at the same time as having a very big responsibility as a student athlete, but also someone who has to manage the treasury for the John Carroll Club sailing team was very difficult to manage, but I learned how to organize my time and be an effective leader. Which brings me to my next point of group membership. Group membership and group projects, I had to be active in communication and follow-ups, and I usually had to message group members to allocate a plan for future goals and aspirations for what we needed to get done in class, along with my personal hobbies. If anyone knows me, they know I love cars, and cars are all about my life, but they usually don't like me. My cars I've owned have many issues, and as a personal hobby, I really appreciate and value cars in my life, and to manage it along with being in school and managing classes, I believe that I've become effective with my organization and time management skills. For critical thinking and creativity, I believe this skill and quality I have learned at John Carroll, and it's still one of my biggest qualities that I've improved on over the last 4 years here. For my integrated marketing classes, I was involved in a lot of group work where we had to creatively brainstorm and think about how we would plan to envision a marketing campaign. With writing research papers, I learned to take time to sit down and think critically about what I had to do to research and think creatively on how to manage my time and understand what assignment goals needed to get done. With these experiences, I believe I'll be able to successfully apply my organization and leadership skills with my newly acquired summer internship, and I'll organize and manage events with ease because John Carroll has helped me to form and manage in a professional setting. Okay, so lastly, John Carroll has taught me both on campus, outside of campus, and professionally how to voice myself with confidence and passion. Whether it was in a professional setting, informational interview, classes, or unexpected interactions, I firmly believe that I can now my verbal communication skills have improved over the last 4 years. Informational interviews, I spoke with Lorraine Conlon, who works for Lee Health, and she gave me great advice that I never would have expected. She told me that you have to speak the lingo or the language of the professional setting you're in. So since she's in healthcare, she told me that you have to have the conversation and dialogue just like doctors and professionals have, because you have to adapt and change how you will speak towards others in a professional setting. Same with public speaking. As you can tell, I get nervous, I get flustered, and I'm very stressed. But sometimes I just realize that I have to slow down and kind of just calm myself and collect myself and just speak normally. Because when I slow down and think, I can just pronunciate and pronounce myself better. And also formality. So a lot of my informational interviews and even internship interviews have been virtual. I realized that you still, although we were so used to like over Zoom, being in classes, having your camera off, I realized that you still have to dress professionally, present yourself with formality, even in situations that you will not expect. One situation that I fondly remember is I was on a pirate ship booze cruise, and I met one of the greatest connections of my life down in Florida because I took my time and I recognized that she was well developed, and I spoke with someone and I made a great connection that I believe I can use as a future reference. For my future. In my future, I know I have a strong foundation with the skills and abilities I have acquired at John Carroll. As I move forward, I am very excited about what my future holds. And with my recently acquired summer internship at Soapbox Derby and actively involved in the Lisa Calagrassi Foundation as a social media team member, I'm very glad that John Carroll was able to shape me into the person who stands before you today. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to be here. I know this is a very stressful week in the John Carroll community, so I really appreciate you all being here. My name is Erindracey. I am a communication major with a concentration in digital media and a minor in entrepreneurship. As I reflect on my time at John Carroll, the good and the bad, I have so much to take with me into the next step of my life, specifically what I can bring into the workforce, which is what I'll be sharing with all of you today. The 3 skills I feel I have the most experience, strength, and have had the most growth in are emotional intelligence, public speaking, and professional writing. Emotional intelligence is defined as the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while being able to understand and influence the emotions of others in a positive way. Being able to read for what a person needs from me to make them feel comfortable and reach their full potential has helped me in all of my experiences. But it has also helped me help myself by being more self-aware. Learning what I excel in, what I like, what I don't like, what I need to work on, has really helped me in my personal and professional growth. I believe emotional intelligence is one of the most important skills you need to be a good leader. It has allowed me to resolve conflict efficiently in the workforce, especially when I worked in childcare. Believe it or not, 6-year-olds have a really hard time understanding someone else's perspective in an argument and always need a mediator. It has made adapting to changing business circumstances and goals easier. During the pandemic, you really just had to stay on your toes. And having an emotional intelligence has made efficiently collaborating with small and large groups easier, along with being a good listener to support the people around me, whether it's coworkers, friends and family, superiors, and hopefully even my own employees one day. An example of when I had to use this skill to the test in a very moving way was in my audio storytelling and podcasting class. For my final project, we had to do a documentary and interview a woman via Zoom who was wrongfully convicted of a heinous crime and spent 15 years in prison.
hearing by how this affected her and her family was a very intense and emotional experience. Seeing someone break down like that in one of the first interviews I had ever done was very difficult. But I knew it was important to put my emotions aside so that we could share her story with the dignity and integrity it deserved and spread awareness to wrongful convictions in the Innocence Project. And I hope to be able to use this skill to become a better leader and make impactful change. My next skill is public speaking. Jerry Seinfeld's one of his famous jokes is about how people would rather die than public speak, about how people would prefer to be in the casket than give the eulogy. But it stems from a study done in the early 1970s that found that 41% of Americans reported their worst fear to be public speaking over death. As we've evolved ourselves as a society and present ourselves more through the internet and social media, that's gone down to about 18%. Before John Carroll, I would have considered myself to be in that category. When I took public speaking here my freshman year, I was very intimidated. But the course gave me the mindset that you don't have to be completely fearless and have no nerves or anxiety to be a good public speaker. You need to be confident and knowledgeable in what you're talking about, have good tone, speed, and volume in your voice, be passionate, and most importantly, lots and lots of practice. Since that class, I have presented in every single class I've taken at John Carroll, whether it was in core course that the Jesuit education provides, telling people how people all over the world celebrate Christmas in my History of Christmas class, to pitching a new closet organization and style curator app to potential investors in my entrepreneurship fieldwork, to presenting a new marketing and advertising plan for my favorite local coffee shop in my hometown of Buffalo, New York. John Carroll has taken me from being scared to death of public speaking to finding myself even enjoying it now. My next and final skill is professional writing. This is a skill I feel I was lacking before I got to John Carroll, but courses like media writing and the amount of papers I've had to write over the past 4 years have given me the tools and rules of how to become a better writer and how to write in different styles for the specific occasions. It has allowed me to be successful in the internships I've had while in college. I will show here some examples of work I've done in those internships. While I was a marketing intern at Absolute Performance Incorporation, which is a cybersecurity company in Boulder, Colorado, I created social media posts that increased traction to our LinkedIn page and our website, along with increasing our followers and content engagement each quarter. As a digital engagement intern here at the Alumni Department for a Day of Giving, which we had a little under a month ago, I created ambassador toolkits that contain social media posts and email blasts for our ambassadors to send out leading up to Day of Giving to encourage others to donate. I also created flyers and pamphlets to encourage others to donate to our senior class gift, along with creating social media contests and a marketing communication outline that was given to the department for what to do leading up to Day of Giving, the actual Day of Giving, and post-Day of Giving content. Day of Giving was a success. We were able to increase the amount of donors and money we raised, and I attest that to the amount of work we put in beforehand and using the different forms of communication as efficiently as we could, and professional writing definitely being one of those. I am so grateful for all of the tools, experiences, and people that John Carroll has brought into my life. I hope to take all that I have learned here through being at John Carroll and the professional experience that John Carroll has helped me to achieve in the next chapter of my professional career. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you're interested in collaborating, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. I just wanted to start by thank you all for coming out tonight. Like everyone has said before, it's finals week. The last place you want to be is here if you don't have to. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brooke Jekyll, and tonight I'd like to share with you my developed skills that have made me the person I am today as well as the professional I am today. I'm a graduating senior here at John Carroll with a major in communications and a concentration of integrated marketing communications and minor in leadership development. Through my coursework, activities, and experiences, I've developed key skills that have made me a suitable working professional. Thinking of 3 skills you've developed over the years is kind of like creating your own who I am persona, which I actually have done in my branding course taken with Shannon. I know she's not here, but shout out to her. The skills that I believe I've grown in the most are open-mindedness, leadership, and my interpersonal skills. To start, by simply just recognizing and respecting others' beliefs and practices, you can build a more personal relationship with whoever you meet. Being open-minded has helped me put aside differences and make progress as an individual myself. Carried throughout my time here at John Carroll, I have only been able to excel in this skill among time. To be this type of person, you really have to improve on your listening skills and be able to give any sort of advice to anyone. Everyone faces issues in college, and that's sort of where I kind of gained my skills here. Going to a person is hard, but having somebody to listen to is even harder to find. So the first thing that comes to mind when I say John Carroll has helped me grow on this skill is the service for learning in action. I participated in service learning where I helped mentor kids and participate in fun learning activities with them. It's much easier to connect with someone from the same worldview as you. Working with the service learning, these kids all came from different type of backgrounds, and learning how to sit with them comfortably was a huge thing for me, and I'm grateful for that. So moving on to leadership, being a leadership development minor, I could have not been more grateful for the program itself as well as the classes that I took through it. Coming into John Carroll, I was not a leadership development minor at all. I actually took the ISJ class for a core credit requirement, and I ended up loving the course. And the course I took was with Kyle O'Dell, so shout out to him. And taking this ISJ course, I really thought to myself, wow, I love this. And obviously it was a leadership course as well. So I found motivation throughout learning and developing my skills in leadership. The biggest thing I learned about leadership is that it has many different meanings behind it, and really anyone could be considered a leader. It can be anything from creating group projects to creating a fundraiser, and that's where my example comes from. So for my Capstone project with the leadership development minor, we had a fundraiser for St. Martin de Porres High School, and through that I was able to help plan a golf event, which I really took charge in. Through this fundraiser, I practiced my leadership skills by taking initiative and stepping up to get my group together, being an event planner, and leading everybody to come together the day it happened as well. And that obviously was a lot of stress, which comes with being a leader, but seeing that you could handle that was really good for me. Overall, through the leadership courses as well as different events, I have found the type of leadership style I follow as well as meeting those requirements to be considered a leader by others. I have built such strong relationships and have learned to work extremely well with others while excelling in my interpersonal skills. A quick shout out to Jimmy Tyree teaching COM 208, which is still considered one of my favorite courses I've taken here at John Carroll, which helped me understand when working with interpersonal skills, I do excel. The skills can go hand in hand with my open-mindedness and my leadership skills. To be effective in interpersonal skills, you need those two things as well as many other things to go along with that. The best thing I can say that has helped me represent my interpersonal skills is my internship at Bright Skies, which is located in Tremont and Cleveland. I work as a sales and marketing intern. Through this internship, I worked with connecting with different people from all works of life. And it's important to work with people who are just different from you. Like I said, an open-mindedness. From across the state to across the globe, I need to be ready for any conversation I may come across with new prospects. I reach out to create contacts and form relationships with others and help create an image for Bright Skies. I help to get an understanding of the needs that need to be met so we can meet that unmet need that they are working with. Through different courses here at John Carroll, I have learned all about meeting the unmet need to gain success in my interpersonal skills that I've grew on throughout my time here. Final thoughts. My use of open-mindedness, leadership, and interpersonal skills will help me grow professionally and personally through my future endeavors. John Carroll has given me the foundation I need to succeed. Through my 4 years, I've developed skills that will help me as the future as I go into the workforce, starting with full-time position in sales and marketing. I look forward to taking these skills as well as many more with me moving forward. My time at John Carroll has been priceless. From friendships made to the courses I've taken, I cannot thank my influences enough. Through my experience here, I know I will succeed. Thank you everyone for your time today, and please feel free to add me on LinkedIn.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt Lacondro. I'm a senior here, obviously, John Carroll University, and I'm majoring in communications with a concentration in integrated marketing communications. So first thing I wanted to say was I really appreciate everyone who I've had in my life here at John Carroll. Obviously, being in college is not the easiest thing ever, and I'm really thankful for everyone who I've had in my life. I originally came to school, and out of high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I originally was in the business school here. I was in Bowler. I came in as a finance major, realized that I did not like that at all. Switched to marketing and still realized that that maybe wasn't for me. So that's when I switched over to the communications department and had my concentration in IMC. And I'm really thankful for our professor of this class, Dr. Finucane. She was a huge help to me. So I just want to say thank you really quick. So during my time here at John Carroll, with my education, my extracurriculars, and the internship that I've had, I've learned three main skills that I wanted to highlight. First being organization, second time management, and third professionalism. Organization first was a skill that I mainly learned from balancing schoolwork, my internship, and my other job working at Lifetime. In order to balance all three of these things together at one time, I had to be very, very organized, which I found out pretty quickly. And along with that is time management. Having three giant commitments going on in my life all at once takes up a lot of my time. So I had to make sure that I budgeted my time correctly and spent the right amount of time on all my things that I do. And then professionalism. I learned a lot of my professionalism skills here at John Carroll. A lot of it was through informational interviews and guest speakers, and I'm really thankful that we had the opportunity to have all these informational interviews and guest speakers in almost all of our classes. I think they're some of the most valuable things that we have in our education. So I'm thankful for everyone who has come and speak to us, or the experience that I've had talking with other people. And learning from these people has helped me become very professional in the office when I'm there. So how I spent my time here at school, while a student, I spent a lot of my time either doing schoolwork or working outside of school. But in my free time, I obviously wanted to save time to spend time with my friends. And what I really love to do most is working on cars. So a lot of the time that I spent was either working on my car, because it tends to break all the time, going racing, or going to car shows. And this may not sound too applicable to what I have to offer, but a lot of this I've learned problem solving skills, because a lot of the things that I do, I don't initially know. So it's been huge for problem solving. And then also I found that I really love to work out. I like to work out like once a day, and that has really helped me be more mindful and manage my stress a lot more effectively. So with my education at John Carroll, my internship experience, and my work experience, these are four things that I wanted to highlight that I believe that I offer in my field. First being creativity, inspiration, attention to detail, and leadership. These skills that I've learned from professors, mentors, and my friends. And I never thought of myself as a creative person until I went to school, and I really feel like I learned how to be creative at John Carroll. So as I talked about before, I wanted to highlight my work life and the things that I've done while being a student. So the first job that I had, I was working facilities on campus, and this was when I was an underclassman, so it really got me comfortable with the faculty and with a lot of the students here on campus, because I was constantly working with other people. So I'm really thankful for that experience, and I realized that I really wanted to do something else instead of going to class all day and then staying on campus all day to work. So that's when I got a position at Lifetime, which is the fitness club that I go to, and there I got a position as a rock wall instructor. And this helped me a lot with my leadership skills, because a lot of people will come in, they want to rock climb, but they don't know how to do it safely. So I had to be a leader and teach them how to climb safely. And then lastly, I got my internship at Nexus Engineering Group. It's downtown. This internship has probably been the best experience of my life, to be completely honest. I've didn't really think I was going to like it. I was pretty nervous about it going into it because I didn't feel like I would fit in sitting in an office. But it's been the most amazing few months that I've been there, and I'm really thankful for my mentors that work with me. So for that internship, they're an engineering firm, and they're currently trying to rebrand themselves. So I've been in charge of taking all their marketing materials and rebranding them to be more effective. So things like their brochures, they have success stories, and then capabilities presentations. So I've been redesigning those, and it's been super gratifying for me because I see the work that I've done and then also see the results that it has in terms of increased sales. And since being successful with this internship, they have asked me to continue with them, which is what I plan to do over the summer. And since college, so I just wanted to say thank you, as I said before, for everyone who's been in my life while going through school. It's been a crazy 4 years, and it's kind of sad that it's all over. But I'm very thankful for everyone who's been in my life, and I also am very thankful for the skills that I've learned here that will help me definitely in my field that have been helping me. So feel free to connect me on LinkedIn, and thank you.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nick Revelis, and before I get started today, I just wanted to say congratulations to all the people that have had to speak before me today. They've done a very good job, and I hope I can live up to that. I know it's a Monday, it's 75 degrees outside, it's finals week, so I appreciate you guys being here today. So like I said, my name is Nick Revelis. I currently have a major in communication with a minor in leadership, and that communication major is the concentration is integrated marketing and communications. And so I'm here to reflect on my 4 years today. It's hard to reflect on your 4 years in a little over 4 minutes, but I'm going to do my best. John Carroll has taught me so many great and valuable skills. And so what I'm going to talk about today are 3 of them I've learned, and that's organization, public speaking, and resilience. Well, speaking of being able to overcome things, I guess we're not going to be able to get the slides working today. So to be organized is to be able to think on the fly, to be able to handle multiple things at once, and to be able to use your resources efficiently and effectively. So in my time here at John Carroll, I've had to take a lot of different courses at once. Being able to organize my time through weekly calendars to make sure I stayed on track with all my classes was important. One of the classes that taught me a lot about my organizational skills is my relationship selling and management class with Professor Schmidt. She's back there. So in that class, in order to be able to succeed in it, we have these different sales presentations. And so to be able to succeed in those, we had to build a script for our customer. And that included things like an approach. It included things like a marketing plan. It included features, benefits, all this different stuff, a lot of different stuff to handle at once. And so I think that class was really important for me to be able to adapt my skills and to be able to realize how to be organized in a class. Oh, now it's working. Look at that. There we go. Okay, yeah. Another example of we'll go back up one. The click is working now. Great. Another example of my organizational skills. In my time in Buffalo, I have planned many large-scale and successful charity projects. This included things like block parties. This has included things like basketball tournaments, and last summer it culminated in a Guinness World Record being broken for the world's longest basketball game. Now, anyone that's ever planned an event, you have to understand that so many different things go into it at once. This includes things like finding a venue, being able to coordinate with sponsors, being able to handle all these different things, food and beverage. The list goes on and on. So to be able to succeed in that and be able to be organized, I believe those are skills that will help you in the professional workplace. Now, public speaking. I hope this is a skill I'm doing good at right now, but public speaking, one of the first courses I had to take in my time here at John Carroll was Com 125 with Professor Dobbins. Now, in this class, you had to be able to speak on topics that you didn't know about in front of people you didn't know. Now I know you didn't, but people you didn't know. And so you had to be able to kind of adapt on the fly and learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable situations. So I really think that class kind of started off my ability to be able to learn how to public speak. and in many different classes, like with Dr. Knoll, Dr. Schmidt, and like I said, Professor Dobbins, I've been able to improve on that skill. Now, for public speaking also at my events, I've had to go to high schools and colleges across Buffalo, be able to speak in front of hundreds of different people to promote the event. And so that's a lot of the times you're not comfortable with it and it's kind of scary, but being able to kind of speak quietly, pause, and breathe, it all works out. And obviously the other thing too about public speaking is that it's not just in front of large people. Being able to speak in front of large groups, that's an important skill. But it's also important to be able to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, like I said. Now, with my internship with the Buffalo Bills last summer, like I said, I'm from Buffalo. I'm a diehard Bills fan. And so when I worked at training camp last summer, I had to speak with people like the Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, Jordan Poyer, a bunch of different players. That's a little bit intimidating to me. I'm a diehard fan. I get excited in front of them. So being able not to be awestruck in the moment, not to get too stressed out, are important ways to be able to succeed in public speaking. No, we're going the other way. There we go. The last skill I want to talk about is resilience. Now, to be resilient means that you are able to overcome, you are able to adapt, you're able to not let one challenge and one setback define you. In my time this semester with Endeavor Health Services, I've had to learn to juggle a lot of different things at once. We had to plan the 50th anniversary gala. We had to do different marketing campaigns. I had to hop in on a lot of different board meetings and Zoom calls. And on top of all that, I've taken 18 credits this semester trying to graduate on time. We'll knock on wood there, finals this week. But yeah, so I'm trying to do all of this at once, and that's a complicated thing. And so being able to just breathe, be able to handle yourself, and be able to overcome, it was not easy for me to get into John Carroll. I don't get A's in every class. I wish I did, but I don't. But to be able to be resilient means you're able to overcome. It means that you're able not to let one setback define you. It took me a long time to get into John Carroll. I got in. I didn't think I was going to graduate on time. Knock on wood. I hopefully will be done next week. So my important thing is everyone in life, everyone in this room faces setbacks, faces those difficult moments. Don't let it define you. And so to conclude, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Like I said, you need to be comfortable in the uncomfortable moments. For any of you out there, it's not about what you have, and it's not about what you've accomplished. It's about who you've helped, what you've given back, and how you've been able to help others. I believe the most important thing we can do in our time as we are about to step off to our next chapter is be able to give back to others and be able to be there for one another. So for anyone out there that's interested in me, hiring me, I'm a hard worker, I'm organized, I think I can public speak, you guys will be the judge of that, and I think I am resilient. So I appreciate you guys taking the time today, and yeah, let's go.
Hello everybody, I am Claudia Rojar and I will be graduating this year with my Bachelor of Arts in Communication with a digital media concentration. Today I'm here to talk to you about my experiences at John Carroll, and with that I'd also like to highlight a few different areas that I learned and I feel have allowed me to grow not only as an effective communicator, but also as an individual. Thank you. So the three areas that I'm going to cover in this presentation are innovation and creativity, attention to detail, and lastly, meaningful collaboration and connection. So starting off with innovation and creativity. Creativity. So when I was in the midst of choosing my major, I felt kind of lost as to knowing what I wanted to do with a career path. However, there was one thing that I knew for sure, and that was that I wanted to be able to grow creatively. And I feel that I've been able to do just that through the Tim Russert Department of Communication. Because of John Carroll, I was able to strengthen my creative skills and through rigorous courses, projects, and internships. After taking many courses in the communication department these last 4 years, I truly think that I have been able to grow creatively in ways that I may not have at a different university. These experiences have all helped me develop different ways of communicating across different mediums. In my Introduction to Digital Media course, I learned how to effectively communicate an idea through digital means of audio and video recordings using Adobe programs Premiere and Audition. Although this was a challenge for me at first, in the end of the course, I gained a proficiency in these programs, ultimately allowing me to communicate in new ways that I never had before. And in an ever-changing society technologically, I feel that this is a very useful skill to have. Can you go to the next one, please? So another important skill that I learned is the ability to be both an engaging and effective storyteller. Coming into college, I wasn't a great public speaker. I often let my nerves get the best of me. However, over time, with a little grace, practice, and patience, I was able to gain confidence in this area through my speech communications class. I also learned how to tell a story, and I think that this will allow me to not only effectively advocate for myself and others, but also for future employers and their brands. Being that my concentration is in digital media, content creation has also become a major asset of mine. I learned the basics of Adobe Photoshop in my web and interactive design class, where I was able to create images for different assignments, including book covers and movie posters, creative things like that. Thankfully, I was able to carry this skill with me in both my internships, where I created images to post daily. Creating this sort of content has challenged me to think outside of the box, and when it comes to making a variety of images for different brands, I was able to come up with unique ways. So my next talking point is my attention to detail, and as a social media intern for Voices of Prosperity, which is a nonprofit organization that provides different means of wellness for folks with disabilities, I learned the importance of ensuring that all social media posts and copywriting were consistent with a nonprofit's brand. This close level of attention is crucial for maintaining the effectiveness and professionalism of a brand's communication. I first learned the importance of active listening and interpersonal communications. This skill has allowed me to fully listen and understand another person's perspective, and I like to classify this sort of learning as the ability to read the room, meaning I can respond effectively and appropriately by leaning into the words and nonverbals of others, ultimately helping me be a more empathetic and clear communicator. Being an intern with Rebecca Adele PR and Events also provided me some experience in planning and managing events. With this, I learned how to take the needs of a customer and their ideas and bring them to life, including even the smallest of details. As a communications major, I have spent plenty of time these last 4 years improving my writing skills. I've also taken several English courses that strengthened the skill, and I took part in the Writing Center as well, where I helped students improve their writing. I gained a ton of practice correcting even the most minuscule errors and establishing a paper's flow, all while still maintaining the original writer's voice throughout. Oh my gosh. Would you mind going to the next slide? Additionally, my experiences at John Carroll have allowed me to grow wonderful relationships and connections with others. By working in group projects and presentations, I was able to work effectively with my peers in order to achieve one common goal. For example, in my interpersonal communications class, my group members and I met consistently and developed a presentation and lesson plan. In these meetings, we collaborated and shared ideas as well as constructive criticism, which is a necessary skill to have, and to me, it's one of the best ways to learn and improve your skills. I would also like to touch base on the many service projects that I was able to be a part of through CSSA. I'm fortunate enough to be able to connect with people of diverse backgrounds, from socializing and playing games with seniors at the Fatima Center to tutoring kids at the Famicos Park Foundation Village. Working with these people and serving them has allowed me to gain new perspectives, as well as an ability to communicate with people of all different backgrounds. I'm fortunate enough to be able to continue my work with my current internship, Voices of Prosperity, where I will continue part-time work creating content after graduation. Additionally, I'm excited to continue bettering my communication skills and working with others as a recruiter with a hiring platform company known as Collar. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to all of my John Carroll peers and faculty. And I'm fortunate enough to have established so many wonderful connections, and I'm confident that John Carroll has given me the strengths necessary to be successful in all of my future endeavors. I invite you to connect with me on my LinkedIn. Again, my name is Claudia Rojar, and thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Sokolowski. I'm a senior at John Carroll with majors in political science and communications with a concentration in digital media. During my time at John Carroll, I have learned numerous skills and gained many abilities, 3 of which I'm going to talk about. Leadership has prepared me to inspire others. Adaptability has allowed me to adjust my approach in response to changes in my environment. Collaboration has enabled me to work with others to achieve a common purpose. So leadership. Through on-campus jobs, internships, and leadership positions, I have gained many skills on how to be an effective leader. With my role as a liaison for Center for Service and Social Action, I'm also on the student leadership team with them. I've had to grow as a leader. The groups that I've had to lead were both large and small. I found that the most important skill to have when being a leader is having good communication skills. As a part of being on the student leadership team, I'm responsible for being the direct line of communication and a mentor for 8 to 10 other liaisons. I realize that people open up to you more when you make an effort to communicate with them. Communicating is more than just talking. It's about connecting with people. Good communication has given me tools to better understand the needs and goals of those around me. It has also allowed me to better understand what motivates and fulfills people. I also have a better understanding of their talents and skills that may go otherwise unnoticed. I have the ability to encourage those talents and skills in a way that develops them in line with CSSA's goals. Another skill that I've learned from being a leader is being confident. Confidence is the foundation of leadership. You can teach a leader to be an effective problem solver, become more decisive, a better communicator, etc. But I need to first believe in myself. If I don't believe that I have the personal confidence to lead, gaining respect is hard. I never underestimate the connection between confidence and leadership. When people feel that I am confident and trustworthy, they are more willing to invest their time, energy, and loyalty to ensure that me and the rest of the group are doing well. During Dr. Beadle's communication ethics class, we had to write a code of ethics for ourselves. Within the paper, we had to list the values that we have in a professional setting. Choosing values and deciding to live by those have allowed me to figure out who I am as a person, a professional, and a leader. These values will hold me true to myself and allow me to be confident in the way that I'm leading. So adaptability in the workplace means that being flexible and able to change in order to get the work done. A lot of times during my internship, I was asked to make designs last minute. I enjoyed doing this once I was able to become adaptable. I was asked to make this card on the screen here for a transfer student lunch that was occurring in an hour, so it was very last minute. I was able to pull it off though, and that is when I knew that adaptability was a skill that I wanted to hone in on. Being resourceful is a very important part of adaptability. The traditional way for me to do my job may not be possible or effective sometimes because there may be obstacles. That's where resourcefulness can be an asset. Being a resourceful person will allow me to be able to source new resources and techniques. Being an adaptable person also will show me that I can be resourceful by demonstrating creativity, problem solving, and innovation. With adaptability, instead of seeing mistakes or failure, I try to see the opportunities instead. Adaptable people don't have one solution set in stone. I have had a wide variety of ideas and resources to pull from because of this. I'm more likely to reinvent ideas. When I first started out my internship this year at CSSA, I was brought in to assist the lead and the head of marketing, but the first weekend, the head of marketing took another job, so I was the only one left at CSSA to do marketing and social media. I was nervous, but then I realized that I needed to be present and get the work done. Being present means being fully engaged and immersed in the here and now. When I am present, my thoughts don't center around what happened this morning, what's going on, I don't have a boss anymore. Instead, I'm fully focused on where I am and what I should be doing right now. Being present can also make me more productive. When my mind isn't distracted, I'm able to focus better and I can accomplish tasks more quickly and effectively and cross more items off my bucket list, or to-do list, I'm sorry. Digital media was a class that I took, and we had to record an advertisement. With this, we were given a script during class. In the hour, we had to record the script. We then had to set the tone that was listed, and we had to edit it and then put music behind it. This showed that I was able to get something done in a platform that I was not used to. So adaptability has made me an all-around better worker. Collaboration. Collaboration in the workplace is about people working to achieve their goals. I collaborate a lot here at John Carroll. The office my internship is at, CSSA, has 4 full-time employees, and the student leadership team I'm on has 9 of us who mentor and lead 60-plus students. When you have smaller groups whose audience is much bigger, collaboration is key. My student leadership team is in charge of planning an advocacy project every semester. We always start out with broad ideas that start to focus in when we all express our ideas, opinions, and the qualities that we can bring to the project. Collaboration makes us use our range of set skills, resources, expertise, and perspectives to achieve better outcomes and greater impact. Collaboration sparks creativity and innovation and leads to more informed, thoughtful decision-making. So with all these skills that I've learned here at John Carroll and all the people who have helped me learn them, I'm excited to use them and apply them in the future. I know that these skills will allow me to be an asset during my year of service and in the future when I'm employed. Thank you.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Nate Westrich. I'm originally from Sloan, Ohio, and I'm currently in my 5th year here at John Carroll, and I'm a communication major with a focus in integrated marketing. And before I get started on the presentation, I just want to say this feels like the perfect send-off to end this chapter of my life. Truly the perfect end to my John Carroll career. It really is an honor to share to what I have learned and what I have experienced during my 5 years here. Might need some help from you guys. Oh, there it goes. All right, so the 3 headliners of my presentation today are going to be how I'm passionate, still growing, and finally I'm going to talk about my core values. So, passionate. I've always considered myself a passionate person, but tell you guys the truth, during my time here at John Carroll, I went through some really dark days. You know, it felt like at a certain point I really did lose myself. And you know what this meant in terms of school? I was missing class. I wasn't doing those easy homework assignments that everyone should be doing. I just didn't have that fire in myself to get anything done. And in terms of my athletic career, I was always physically showing up, but for a long time, I just wasn't mentally there. And you know, after some time went on, I was just getting sick of it, and I finally showed that vulnerability and admitted to myself and everyone around me that I needed help. So, you know, eventually, thanks to my friends, family, teammates, and even professional help, that passion that I knew I always had and I eventually lost, I finally found it and it came back. And the biggest contributor to this for me was a change in my mindset. You know, and I always was a believer in goals, and I think that was a problem for me. So what I did is I changed from the goal to the process. You know, a quote that changed my life was, "A man that loves the journey will walk farther than the man who loves the destination." And that weighed on me so heavy, and I couldn't realize how more true it could have been. So for school, it was no longer get a good grade. It was just do the homework to the best ability that I can do. In terms of football, it was no longer I want to be an all-conference player. It was just I want to go out and have a great practice today. And just that simple little mindset change truly made all the difference for me in my life. Next, we have still growing. And, you know, the headliner of this page is I've made mistakes. You know, I'll be the first one to admit it, whether it's in work, school, relationships, or really anything in between. I've made those mistakes, and I've made those apologies, and I've tried my best to learn from them. But in a funny way, I'm thankful for all those mistakes. I wouldn't be who I am today without those mistakes. And with that being said, I'm very hard on myself. It's just how I've always been. I always feel like I can do better. But I acknowledge the work I've done, but I'm constantly thinking about improvements. Whether it's at work, maybe I'll be driving home and I'm always talking to myself. I'll say something like, "That was a great day of work, Nate. You got a lot done on that project you've been working on. That was a good job." But I'll sit down for a couple minutes and then I'll say to myself, "But you know what? Maybe if you took a little bit shorter lunch break, you would have finished it all and you could have moved on to that next project." Or even today, I was leaving the gym and I was once again talking to myself and I said something like, "You killed that workout, Nate. That was awesome. You killed that." But then I'll say something like, "Maybe you should have focused a little bit more on stretching. Maybe your body would be thanking you a little bit more." And, so that's who I am. So the main point that I'm going to finish this page off with is I can tell you guys with full confidence that I stand up here the best version of Nate Westridge the world has ever seen. But with that being said, by this time tomorrow, I plan on being that much better. Now finally, these core values. So my internship this semester was with the Coast Guard, and these are actually the Coast Guard's main 3 core values that I adopted to be my own. And, this experience truly changed my life. And, I'm sure you guys have heard it in the classroom or anytime this conversation comes up, but anytime I tell anybody my internship is with the Coast Guard, the first thing they ask me is, "Yo, man, are you enlisting? Are you joining the military?" And I always say the same thing, and I swear to you it's the truth at this moment, is I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't deny how amazing my experience has been and how perfect a transition it would be for me for the rest of my life. It's the biggest focus in my life up to this point, admittedly, has been my football career. And just going straight from football to this internship with the Coast Guard, it couldn't have gone smoother because both of them put such a huge emphasis on family and mission, which means, just having each other's back, working hard to get the job done is truly what it's all about. So first core value is honor, which is an adherence to what is right, and in my opinion can be described very similarly as character. What do you do when no one's looking? Are you going to do the right thing, or are you going to just take the easy way out and do it wrong? And that's something I hold myself to a very high regard, to have high character and high honor. Next, we have respect, which is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And, this is huge for me. I worked with such incredible people throughout my internship, but, I had this one coworker, his name was Scotty. He's about 20 years older than us, and, he would tell me stories about his time in the Coast Guard, and that's all great. And, I could talk about that forever, but what really made me gain respect for him was his ability to be a good man, a good father, a good husband. And I realized through those stories, those are the type of people I want to be around. And finally, devotion to duty, which is to fulfill your obligations, whether it be professional, legal, or moral. And, it simply comes down to, are you going to do your job? Are you going to give it everything you got? Are you going to come at it with relentless tenacity, or are you just going to kind of roll through it? And I think, what it simply comes down to is you got to have love for what you're doing. I still don't necessarily know what I want to be when I grow up, and I think that's okay for now. But I got to love what I do, and that's really the main thing, the main takeaway I've gotten up from my point in this life is I have to love what I'm doing every day. And, that's it, y'all. I appreciate you guys listening, and I wish you guys all the best on your future endeavors. Thank you.
Term of yours, we're still growing, so there's room for improvement, but the foundation was there, and I think all of you have demonstrated that you are ready to take the next steps. And so those of you who have a job already, congratulations. And those of you still looking, good luck. You will do fine if you can present yourself in the way that you presented yourself here. So have a good summer. enjoy, and we'll see you at graduation. And if you need anything, please call.